Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Princess Beyond Passions. You're all welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Please do come in and let us have some discussions. I'm not going to stay for too long because I have another appointment in another channel about the premiere, which is very important to me. And that channel is also dear to my heart. So I am not going to be here for more than an hour. The premiere is exactly 1 hour from now. So whatever we are going to discuss tonight, or whatever we're going to discuss right now, will be within this time. Okay. Now I'm expecting you guys to ask me questions because people come to Instagram and
1 in 7 children does
sorry
not
guys.
have enough food to lead a healthy and active life.
Sorry guys. People come to what I call the back door to ask me questions. And sometimes I say, why don't you ask these questions here? Hi, you're welcome, 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 Lily, welcome. So I encourage people to come here and ask me the questions so that when I do the explanation, other people can benefit from it. Sometimes people ask me similar questions and to save me the energy of responding, spending time typing or doing voice notes and responding to similar questions individually, it's better to discuss it here. So if you have any question or if you're thinking of asking me any questions, please go ahead and ask me tonight. Like I said earlier, we're not going to be here for too long. I'm gonna go soon and get ready for bed. Yes. Oh, you have exam tomorrow. Okay. I want to wish you the best and I want to wish you success in that exam. All right. Yeah. So yeah. So but how have you been? I hope you have been good. I hope all is going well with you. I hope you're well. I don't know if Sim Sim has responded to my voice note. I left her a voice note. First, I would like to, um, you know, express my condolences to the families in Turkey for the earthquake that happened there and took a lot of lives. Thousands of people lost their lives in that earthquake. And I would just like to observe, maybe let's observe 1 minute silence for the um, lives that have been lost there. All right. All right. May the lives um, I would like to say that we're sending thoughts of peace and comfort to the families of those who have lost their lives. May the people who have lost their lives, may they rest in peace. Okay, so yes, like I was saying earlier on, I was saying that I have titled this live stream, Come Ask Me a Question if you have a question for me. The reason I did that is because people come behind doors to ask me questions, and there are questions that benefit everyone. So if you have any questions to ask me, now is the time. You have a huge opportunity to ask me the question right now. If not, then perhaps I will have to discuss because there's something actually dear to my heart that I would like to discuss as well. Yeah. I had a discussion with someone this afternoon, and I would like to touch on that discussion, so that I'm sure that it will benefit some people as well. I don't know. I don't know who the ghosts are, but it's okay. If they would like to come in, let them come in. Ah, please come in and say hi. And come in and ask me the questions. If you would like to ask me any questions, please do come in and ask me questions, okay? So that we can share. All right? Yeah. Or share me out if you are able to share me out, okay? And if you are not gonna ask any questions, then let me begin to discuss the other aspect of what I would like to talk about this evening. And like I said earlier on, 8 o'clock, there's a premiere on Calm Natural 247. I would like to honor that appointment because that has been scheduled as well. So at exactly maybe 2 minutes to 8, or yeah, I will end the LS and go over to Calm Natural to premiere with Calm Natural. All right, people. Okay, thank you. All right, so what I would like to talk about, if there is no question, is before you come to the UK, right, or before you travel abroad to anywhere, it will be good to ask questions about that place that you intend to travel to. Gabriel Hoyas, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, it's good to ask questions. If you intend to travel anywhere, it's good to ask questions about where you'll be traveling to, right? Instead of just taking off because you have the money or because you have the clout or because you are able to go. It's always good to find out what goes on in the place that you would like to travel to. Um, because why I'm saying this is because I've been to a few places in the world. Um, I've been to a number of countries in Africa. I've been to so many other places outside Africa. Well, and I have seen different cultures. Um, I've had the experience or privilege of seeing different cultures. So sometimes when people travel, want to relocate, they just relocate either because they are able to, they have the means to do so, or because they maybe have one or two people living abroad and they relocate abroad without having a clue of what goes on abroad, right? So my advice to people, even before I relocated abroad, my advice has always been, you know, wherever it is that you would like to go to, read or ask questions about such a place before you relocate. That has always been my advice. And people be like, are you a travel are you a tourist consultant? Are you a this consultant? Are you a that consultant? I don't have to be a tourist consultant to know that, I'll have to read up about the place where I'm going to, or at least find out one or two things about the place, right? Let me give you a typical um, let me give you a typical example. Um, Many years ago, I had traveled to a particular country, and and it was hot. Before I traveled, I knew it was going to be hot there, so I had to, go with dresses like spaghetti that has spaghetti sleeves. These tiny sleeves. You know, long dresses with tiny sleeves, stuff like that, because I knew it was going to be very hot. But in that place, in that place where I went to, um, wearing, letting my hair down like this was not, uh, was not, somehow was not allowed, sort of, right? To let hair down like this as a woman and be walking along the street, you one has to cover up the hair, right? And the spaghetti sleeve was not allowed as well. So that um, that place, I had to buy shawl. This shawl that you can use. I was using it to cover the hair like that, and then the shawl allow it to drape down my shoulders. You understand? So whatever I wore had to be long. Of course, short dresses were not allowed along the streets. I mean, you can wear it indoors and stay in your house, but not along the street. I'm just giving you a small example. Okay, so based on that experience, I've come to realize that if you're going anywhere, either as a tourist or a or you are relocating, or you're just traveling for business or whatever it is, particularly a place where you know that you're going to stay for some days or some weeks, or perhaps you are relocating, if it's not where you live, if it's not your country or your city, then you know that you're going to meet another culture. Culture just means a way of life of a people, right? Yes, you're going to meet another culture. You're going to a place where you've never probably never been to. That's one. Or a place where they practice something else. Yes, yeah. So you have to be careful. You have to you have to have some sort of some sort of foreknowledge, at least the fundamentals. You have to know the fundamentals to be able to go to such a place, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Anna, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, please give the video a thumb up, and if you are if you are able to share, kindly share as well. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much for the thumb up. Yeah, thank you for coming. Yeah. Anna is saying hello to you. Yeah. So yes, so that has given me that experience, you know. Hey, my darling, red lipstick, you are welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, you are welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, I was talking about um, things, things to know before you travel somewhere, or before you travel out, or before you go to another person's land where the culture is not yours. All right. The reason I started talking about this is because I had a discussion with someone, a woman, this afternoon, and the woman had said that her son would like to relocate. And I was talking to the woman like I usually do so many years ago, even so many years ago. Anytime anybody told me that they were traveling, I would sit the person down and I would start talking to the person about this place that you say you are going to. Um, do you know their culture? Do you know their mode of dressing? Do you know the weather? Do you know basic things that you should know It's an organized society. um, are you able to fit in? Do you know if you can fit into so? Do you know if I'll just go on a tangent and ask all kinds of questions. Sometimes the questions come out as funny. That yes, but it's important for us. It's important for us, particularly in our community, right? Imagine a young man coming from, or a young man or a young woman coming from our community to say UK. You understand? And the person comes in maybe as a student, and the person does not know the culture here, and the person just comes in, and it's like someone who has just been thrown into an ocean. And if you don't know how to swim in an ocean, you might probably drown. You get it. Sometimes it's very difficult for our children to blend into the society when they travel out like that, or when they travel, or when they go to school like that, you know, get admission abroad. And thank you so much, Anna. Get admission abroad and then travel, and then they now begin to learn. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine came around, uh, had an admission last year and traveled to the UK. And this person is not even a teenager. Is an adult already. And some things shocked him, was why he started talking about it. You know, back where I came from, for example, if you get into a train or a bus and you see an elderly person, you're sitting down, and you see an elderly person come into the train or the bus, and there are no more seats, and this person is elderly and perhaps is using a walking stick or something. Simpson, darling, you are welcome. Where I come from, it's not uncommon to find a younger person standing up for an elderly person who has just come into that a place where there are no other seats, and the young person is seated, right? So my friend was in the train, and in this couch, in this yes, in this space, there was no other seat, and this elderly woman came into the train in this section. Of course, the train was jam packed. Was headed to an institution where it was a peak period. So he looked, and the woman was somewhere around him, right? In a walking stick, right? And very elderly. So, what did my friend do? My friend told the woman to come and sit down, and he stood up for the woman, right? And when he stood up for the woman so the woman could sit, the woman was like, no, that she was fine, that he should sit down. Please, I am in the background. I'm almost okay. Yeah. Yeah, that he should sit down, that he should take a seat. No, that you don't do that. Sit down and all that and all that. Don't you think I can stand? So it almost became like my friend was almost embarrassed. Congratulations, you're welcome. My friend was almost embarrassed because he thought he was doing the right thing by standing up for this elderly woman to sit down in the train. So that was one culture shock for him, right? And there was also another culture shock for even me some time ago, some years ago. I was in a store, a grocery store, and when you get into a grocery store, it's not uncommon to find elderly people shopping and pushing their carts and all that and all that. And this section, um, they had this was the milk section. They had the life, what we call the life milk, like all these soya milk, hazelnut, um oatmeal milk, all those kind of milk. They were on the top most shelf, where even I, a tall woman like I am few inches short of 6 feet. when I stretch my hand, I have to stretch my hand to pick up a a pack a cup a pack of live milk myself, so 1 liter milk. So, but I saw this elderly woman bent, very elderly, right? And when elderly people get to some age, they kind of bend or shrink or something, or the height comes down. I saw her and she was struggling to pick up this thing from the shelf. She kept trying to pick the thing up, trying to use her finger to push it out, to push that. And I saw it. I saw that the way she was doing this thing was going to fall and might hit her, right? I could have said, "Oh, it's none of my business." So I look away and continue with what I was doing. But I went there and I offered to help her. May I help you? You know, and it was almost like I was I was insulting her, right? It was almost like I was telling her that she she can't do what she was doing. And she was like, no, she was like, the way she looked at me first. Of course, I wasn't surprised because hey, the color of my skin, right? Yes, I was not surprised. Hey, I have that one. I've had the experience so many times in stores, so many times in stores. So the way she looked at me, like, who the H are you to offer to help me? Something like that. Oh no, 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 no! I can help myself. I I can help myself. I don't need any help from you. Something like that. Oh, I don't need any help from you. I don't need no help from you. I can help myself. When I saw that reaction, you know what I do? I just walked past her and I just moved on as if it was not me she was talking to. I knew that I had that was a culture shock, right? That was an experience, quite an experience for me. Okay, so stuff like that, we need to tell our children when you get to this university where you're going to, or when you get to this place where you are traveling to, you might expect to see one or two things like that that might shock you. Do not be shocked because that is their culture there. You see, like the two examples I have given, my friend stood up for an elderly person to sit in the train, and that elderly person took it like it was an insult to her. Why would he stand up for her in the train? But back in my society, it's something that we do. We are very family oriented, you see. We are very, very family oriented. So, in fact, if you get into a train or get into a bus and you see an elderly person coming and the elderly person is standing up while you are sitting down, as a younger person, you are supposed to stand up for the elders, right? So the elders will take the seat, and because you're stronger, you're a younger person, you can stand up. In this society, it's not like that, as a matter of fact, because my friend has experienced it. And so it was a culture shock for him. And the other example I gave was also the example that I experienced many years ago, which was also a culture shock to me. So these things, but there are more serious things. There are more serious things. The reason I'm saying it is because of the discussion I had this afternoon, right? Where this woman was saying, oh, that his son would like to travel abroad. His son would like to go to the UK to, now that he is still young, so he can, you know, hustle, how they say it, how we say it, and so he can work with his young um, energy and all that and achieve something for himself. Yes. And I know the son, and the son does not have much travel experience, right? The Perhaps the only travel experience he's had is many times he's a multiple traveler across, across the neighboring African countries. All right. like traveling from Nigeria to Togo to Ghana to, like that, back and back and back and back. It's not the same thing as traveling from Ghana to UK, for example, and it's not the same thing as traveling from Togo to Nigeria or from Nigeria to UK. You understand? It's not the same thing. So when she said that, experienced Africans, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Mind your business kind of people. Yes, congratulations. Yes, yes, very much so. So that is a culture shock when you are coming to the UK. So when this woman was talking, I told her, if your son desires to come to the UK, it's not a problem. It's good, right? When he gets his documents and everything together, when he wants to come. But now you have to start from now to begin to teach him. You have to start from now to begin to, you know, induct him into the kind of culture he's coming to. Because this is a respectable young man, you have to begin to teach him, oh, when he gets there, he's going to have culture shock. There are some little things. Thanks for the thumbs up. There are some things that we do back home that we think, oh, these are the things we are supposed to be doing. But when you get into the UK, you don't do that. You don't do that. You might get into trouble by so doing. If you're walking along the street and someone happens to fall down somewhere around you, you don't touch the person. Do you understand? That's an example. You don't go to touch the person. Otherwise, otherwise, you guys, you know what will happen. I know that some of you know what I'm talking about. Yes. So something like that. But it's easier to travel from here to England than traveling within Africa. The challenges here are enormous. Yes. When you say here, where do you mean? Right? Okay. Say Africa, right? Okay. So something like that, something as serious as that. If in Africa, for example, if you see someone falling, you can easily go assist the person, right? Or someone is falling beside you or something, you can help the person up. But you don't do that here, right? You don't. You can ask, oh, you are right. You will see that the person is not all right. My goodness. You have seen that the person is not all right. This person has fallen down. Okay, Africa, yes. This person has fallen down. And you can see that the person is on the ground the person is not able to stand up anymore. The person is struggling to get up. What you would hear is, oh, you're right. You're right. Are you all right? You're right, darling. You're right, my love. Hey, you're right. Do you understand? In my mind, and I'm like, but you can see that the person is not all right. And you are asking the person, you're right, and you can't help the person. That is the saddest thing. You cannot lend a helping hand because you can't touch the person. You don't know where you touch, you know? You can't touch. So that's something. So those are the kind of things that we should be teaching them. Those are the kind of things we should be telling them. And some things will happen, you don't look. You don't, otherwise they say you're staring and it is rude to stare, right? I'm back. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Welcome back. Yes. So yeah. So those kind of things. So I was telling this woman, you see, these are the kind of things you have to teach. And then there are more serious things like what Nanya Sim is about, right? What Nanya Sim is about when it comes to the differences in the color of our skin. That is the biggest, one of the biggest issues where I live, right? But because it's so subtle. But when you go to America, it's glaringly, it stares you in the face. It's more serious there because it stares you in the face and it's obvious. They do it openly, right? But here is a little bit subtle, and you can easily be labeled for that where I live. You can easily be labeled for that where I live, and it's a serious offense. You understand? So those are both, but it is something that exists, and it is something that has that I don't think in the next 1,000 years it will ever leave the system, because yes, America is worse, because because this is what they are born into. They've been ingrained. That thing has been ingrained into the system. There's no way it's going to leave. A lot of things have been committed. As children are being born here, they are being taught. They are being taught in school. Everywhere children go to, they see it. They experience it. Children experience it, even in schools. Do you understand? Even as little as 3 years, as little as 2 years, they experience it. They might not know what it is, but they will come back and they will tell you, oh, mommy, this. Oh, grandma, this. Oh, grandma, what's the meaning of this? Oh, grandma, do you know that my friend, some people are fighting my friend for being my friend, you know, because they are taught to recognize the differences in colors, in the color of the skin. Little children, so it knows no age. It knows no age. The R word does not know age. It does not recognize, oh, this is a 1 year, or this is a 6 month old baby, or this is a 2 year old, this is a toddler. This is a toddler who does not know anything, who wants to play, right? It doesn't, it's already been ingrained in their system. And when a child is of the age, school age, they go to school, they experience it in school. They experience it in school. So so these are the things I was talking to this woman about, to talk to her son who is indicating interest to travel abroad. I mean, it's good to travel abroad. It's good to go, you know, maybe go to a university abroad, or go to school abroad, or go to work abroad because you are able to do so, right? It's good to do all that, even when you are young and you would like to experience the world, and at the same time explore other opportunities or go for greener pastures and all that stuff, right? But I'm saying, once your child begins to indicate interest, you ask questions, let your child begin to ask questions. If you don't know anything about that culture, if you don't know anything about that culture, you need to ask questions. Tell your child to begin to learn, because it's difficult going to live in another man's land. Anyways, it's difficult, very, very difficult. Leaving your place and going to live in another man's country. Okay, okay. So let me read the comment. The things my nephew says is so innocent. He doesn't go to school. Maybe we'll start in 2 year when at home. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So it's everywhere. It's in books, it's in movies, it's in children's cartoons, it's in children's games. Everywhere. It's embedded in everything and everywhere in a subtle manner. These things are being introduced to children in a subtle manner, in a very subtle manner. So we also, the adults and the parents and the grandparents, we have to also begin to teach our children even before they go there, our little ones, even before they start going out. You see, yeah. But he doesn't understand that because of color you're different to someone else. Yeah, he may not understand it. The little children don't understand it. Toddlers, for example, toddlers who can talk, right? I've had various examples. I've had various experiences, right? And I have interracial grandchildren, right? I have children, I have grandchildren that are interracial, right? So I know what I'm talking about. I know as little as a 2-year old had said something in the house before that. I was shocked. I was shocked to my tooth what this toddler could say. I had no idea how the toddler got to me. The toddler did not know what he was saying, of course. He didn't know what he was saying, but he just said what he said. So I was wondering how on earth, where did it come from? Where did it come from? Yeah, but these things are there. These things are there. And so we have to learn to teach our children. We have to learn to teach our children. So I was telling this woman, you have to teach your adult son, and her son is already an adult. He's an adult, so he only wants to come to the UK to work, right? So in his own opinion, he sorry, I don't want my phone to go off. In his own opinion, he wants to use his youthful age to work, and make something for himself, before that's the mentality we have. We are taught to, you have to work, you have to do something now that you are still young, because time will come when you'll not be able to um, do that anymore, or when you'll not be able to work anymore. So now is the time to do that and all that and all that and all that, right? Was why he said what he said. But knowing that he does not have that kind of travel experience, and he has not seen the world like that, told his mother, begin to teach him, begin to teach him now, begin to teach him. At least you have experienced the world, you know what goes on out there. So you are the one who's going to teach your child. Don't wait for him to go out, go to UK, and then begin to experience some things, and now starts regretting, oh, why did I'm trying to charge this phone. Now starts regretting, oh, why did I come to this place? Oh, you should have told me that this is how this place is. No, it's better to teach him. Teach him now so that he will learn now. Better to teach him now so he will learn now rather than wait for him. Sorry, guys. Rather than wait for him to come and learn the hard way. Yeah. At least there are some fundamental things you can teach. You teach someone who is desiring to travel abroad. Things that you already know. Yeah, teach the person. Okay. Yeah, so okay. Now my phone was almost going off. Okay. They can read between the lines. They're smart just because they are babies and you think they can't hear, but they're really listening and taking in what's happening around you. That is very correct. That is true. That's true. Even as caretakers and parents are responsible for what they say around their children, some of them can be big with the mouth and then realize actually was the dangers of it because yeah, repeating it. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And that's why, sometimes when people are talking in the presence of kids, even babies, even infants, even pregnant women, right? Even the baby that is in the belly that is yet to be born is already taking in sounds, is already taking in what is being said. I know this because many years ago, there's this music that I used to play. Nicole Mulen. Yes, I know my Redeemer lives. I know my Redeemer lives. Uh, you know, I used it as my ringtone for my phone. Before this baby was born. And when this baby was born, every time my phone rang, the baby stops. If the baby was crying, an infant, a baby, less than 1 month, talking about an infant, even even that week, 2 weeks, the baby was born, the baby was already reacting like that. Whenever my phone rang, and if the baby was crying, the baby would stop crying. That particular ringtone, my Redeemer lives. Um, so after some time, I changed it to this other ringtone. You know that song? I changed it and I used that one for many years. And every time the baby hears the song, the baby will stop crying. So sometimes when the baby is crying uncontrollably, I'll go take the baby from the mom and I'll play that sound. And the baby will just stop. The baby will stop crying. So children hear. So when people talk about um, the discrimination about the skin, the color of the skin, and all that, to mom, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. When people talk about that, children hear. Children, they know, they hear. They might not be able to express it. They might not be able to, say some things, but they know. I mean, they hear the things that people say. They hear. So yes, I believe it. The way you are saying, you said that even caretakers and parents are responsible for what they say around their children. That is true. That is correct. That is correct. And but some parents will say, "Oh, but it's only a baby. Ah, it's a baby. Leave him alone. Ah, it's a baby." And then they will continue saying all kinds of stuff in the presence of these children. These children are listening. These things are entering into the ears of the children. These children are picking up, they are picking up things as you say it. They are not, babies hear. Babies are not deaf. They can hear you. And as they are growing up, it, wait, sometimes I see some women talking about all kinds of stuff in the presence of children. I have seen it. Sometimes I see women who are going to school, taking their children to school, and two people are discussing. My goodness, even me as an adult, I cringe at some of the things that they say. But these people, you can see that they don't care. They don't care. And children are there taking in these things. And then when the children begin to act out these things that they are hearing, begin to beat up black, people with black skin in their class, begin to do or bully other children in their class. When these children begin to act out these things that they've heard, you would wonder, oh, but how did they know? But who taught them? Who taught them? You taught them. You taught them. Because you discuss these things in their presence as adults, as particularly white skinned people. sorry to say for the white skinned people that are here, I'm not, know, you understand where I'm coming from. These children, they hear it. They hear it. You get. So we should be mindful of what we say in the presence of little kids. We should be mindful. They hear. Why? Well, for the people that are just coming in, I'm discussing. I'm talking about before you travel to the UK, the things that you should be talking to your children about. And I had given several reasons, several experiences, things that I've experienced, things that my friend who came in recently has experienced, the culture shock, and based on the discussion I had with a woman today, earlier today, between the morning and afternoon hours of today, a woman who told me that her son wanted to come to the UK, and I was talking to her about the things that she should already start talking to her son about from now. She should not wait until her son travels to come into the UK and then experience those things, because some of those experiences could be devastating. Some of those experiences could be, somehow. So I told the woman, look, you better start talking to your son now. Tell him the things that he's going to experience. Don't tell him that he's going to see. Tell him the things that he might experience there, you know. And then I gave examples of the things I have experienced myself, because I experienced these things. It's not as if I don't. One of the reasons I decided I'm going to be working from home is because of the things that I experienced. But I still go out. I go to grocery stores, and as old as I am, I still experience things, even at the grocery stores, even at stores. Last Was it last year or 2 years ago? Okay, it was Black Friday, that Black Friday week of 2 years ago, not last year, 2 years ago, 2021. I experienced another one, big one, as old as I am, right? So these are the things we should be talking to our kids about. And so I told the woman, be talking to your kid about these things, because somehow, if he is going to travel, he will see these things. These are the things you will see out there. These are things you will see out there. My friend who came into the university last year, he was already experiencing things in the university. He's already experiencing things in the university. He experiences things in the train. I told you the experience he had in the train. He only offered to help someone in the train, and he was treated as if, okay, thanks for advising her. Yeah, concerned citizen, can you please tell me what does I don't trust anyone with authority anymore because of that experience, and it didn't even happen to me directly. Yeah. Concerned citizen, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry to say, okay? I don't know what you are talking about, and the question you asked, can I tell you about it? I don't know what it is. Sorry. All right. Yeah. So yes, those are the things. Um, those are the things we need to be talking to our children. So this woman that I spoke about, that I spoke to, these are some of the things that there are more serious things that I have talked to her about already, and I told her to also talk to her son, because whether you like it or not, as long as you are traveling, you experience these things, so that it doesn't come as you will have culture shock, of course, but so it doesn't come as a big shock, so you know how to behave in that society. Because when you get into the UK and you're going to work, whether you like it or not, you must mix up with other people. If you're going to go to school, you must mix up with other people. You mix into the society, and the society is an organized society, and you are going to have to experience things that are beyond your own culture, right? Things that are beyond your own culture, like the few experiences that I've given, um, I've experienced myself, my friends have experienced, and the people around me, even my grandchildren have experienced. Even my grandchildren have experienced, right? Yeah. In fact, I went somewhere with my cousin and she let go of my hand. I fell, and there was a woman standing beside me. She walked away and grabbed her two kids. Started looking up, looking exactly. You know, you hear when I said something like that. That was a culture shock to me too. You know, someone fell. I was coming out of a store, British Heart Foundation, because I donate to British Heart Foundation, right? I was coming out of that store, and right in front there, I looked up and a woman fell. A woman that is probably older than me fell. And people were passing by her and asked her, "You're right, you're right." You can see that the woman is not all right, but you can't touch her, right? I couldn't go, of course, I couldn't go to pick her up. I couldn't, because I had already experienced something in a grocery store where I offered to help somebody to pick up something from the shelf, and the person started looking at me like, who the hell are you? Why are you offering to help me? Who told you that I wouldn't be able to help myself? Have I said, have I told you I'm not able to help myself? Why do you want to help me? An old woman, oh, an elderly woman. You know, she was leaning on the cart, pushing the cart, doing her shopping. This person was like half my height, and she was stretching up and trying to pick something, and she was using one finger to try to push the thing out. And I saw that this thing, 1 liter of milk, was this thing was going to fall on her. And I offered to help her, and she was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna help myself. I don't need your help." Ah, I say, "Yeah, sorry." Oh." I ran. I moved face front. So something as little as that. So we need to understand these things, and we need to talk to, talk to people around us, that as they are traveling, they'll be seeing things, strange things that they have never seen before, and the way they have to behave when they see some things or when they go through some things, and how they have to stand up for themselves. Like the video Truman was talking about this evening. I attended um, Truman's live show, and she was really, really sad. In fact, we were all sad in that live show because of the thing she showed us, the video that she was talking about, something like that. Of course, I will tell my children, I will tell my grandchildren about that kind of thing. And this woman, I will advise her to advise her son that this kind of thing happens. You see? Yes, this kind of thing happens. It's something that we cannot shy away from. It happens. It's all over the place. It's staring us in the face. But there's nothing we can do about it. And than to talk and tell our own people that look, 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 look. These are things happening out there, right? Didn't understand why she's looking me that way afterwards. Afterwards, I realized why. My cousin ended up sitting me down and told me not to worry, but it did take me for shock. I didn't put two and two together until afterwards. So why was she looking at you like that? Why? Hey, guys, my, I have to premiere Calm Natural 247 in another 4 minutes. So I'm gonna end this live show in another 4 minutes, right? So that I can go premiere Calm Natural. Calm Natural has monetized, but needs to, you know, needs some funds to come up so that you know how it is now. So she can get her Google pin or something like that. Okay, it's a faceless, channel. So she Cam Natural cannot um, do monetization party. So please, I am using this opportunity to invite you guys that are here to Cam Natural and premiere with her a video, just to premiere a video. If you are able to super chat her, fine. If not, no problems. Or she needs, you know, to come up. So that is it. So in another 3 minutes, I'll go over there, right? And I'll end this LS. That's why when I came out, I said it's not. It's going to be a short one. It's not going to be a long one, and it's not going to be more than 60 minutes or 59 minutes exactly, to be exact. So yeah, here we are. But I needed to talk about this thing, and I had said ask me questions, and since nobody was asking me questions at the beginning, and I said I was going to talk about this conversation that I had with this woman, so that this woman can have the same conversation with her son. And so if you're a mother here, or you're a parent here, or you have nieces and nephews and younger ones, please, whenever anybody is talking about traveling or going abroad, or please, if you know anything about that place where the person is going, talk to the person about culture shock and the kind of things the person might experience there. Because this person says he's going to UK, and I talked to her about some of the culture shocks, and she can explain to her son and keep on teaching her son until the child eventually comes over here. All right. I wear masks all the time, especially on public transport, because I don't want to be catching anything. Yes, I understand that. Yes. And then some places that we go to and we still wear masks even right now. It was because of my scarf, and I had a mask on my face as well. So all could see was my all they could see was your eyes. This one, you couldn't tell my color unless you really was standing at and trying to look well into my eyes to see, because my skin was covered. Okay, maybe that's why they are looking at you like that. They wanted to see who is this person. But that you see the reaction now. You see the reaction, right? Did you say you have grandkids? Yes, true, only. You don't know. I have grandkids. I even have interracial grandkids. Yeah. So I have to teach them. I teach my children to teach their children as well. Teach them. Teach them, yes. I do, my sister. I do. It's just that you know me. I don't disclose a lot of things about me. This is the internet. So when I'm going to talk about it, when I'm going to use a video, use it to illustrate a video or illustrate some points when I'm teaching, some of my videos, yes, sometimes I mention it. You probably didn't know because you've not uh, been in one of my videos, or been where I talked about it, or in my LS where I talked about it, or even in other people's LS they talked about me. That's why you didn't know. But yeah, very funny. Lily, Lily, very funny, right? Yeah, okay. So that is it. thank you guys. I have to go to Camp Natural now to premiere with her. All right. Yeah, thank you so much. Then I have a premiere on Thursday on Princess Beyond Passions here, and on Friday I will, by God's special grace, will be live again on Friday. Okay, so it's been. I'll see you in camps. Thank you so much. Yeah, please, guys, to Camp Natural, please do so. All right. And I'll see you. Thank you all so much. I appreciate all of you. True Mamily, I appreciate you, Lily. Thank you. And everybody who has been around. Thank you all so much. Anna, Sim. Um, oh, red lipstick vibes. Oh, thank you all so very much for being here with me today in today's LS. I'll see you again on Friday LS. See you in my premiere on Thursday and see you right now in Camp Natural. Bye bye.